Oh yeah, that look good. Hey everyone, and welcome back to CJRaceCars YouTube channel. Today, we're working on Eagle again. Danny's getting a lot of stuff done with the Firewall. This Firewall, if you've ever seen any of our other videos, is a lot different than most Firewalls. Usually they're flat, similar to Jamie's car. Cletus being 6'7" or 9" or whatever it is, he's really tall. We had to bend a Firewall out, so there's a little bit of different variation from what we normally do. But Danny's doing a really good job on that. We'll show you guys how we do our firewalls. You can do it multiple different ways. You can do it with tabs and nuts and bolts. We like to seal it to all the tubes all the way around and put a little lip and drill and tap the chassis. I think it looks cleaner. Then there's no tabs also, so it's a little bit lighter. He's got this piece just about done. Then he'll go over to the other side and do the exact same piece. And then we'll be on these two top pieces here and let the firewall done. Other than the firewall, and mounting doors and front end, the fabrication is getting really close with Troy on the lips on the deck lid in the back, starting on a wing here soon. Taylor's fitting the tube tank hoses, the carbon of the tube tank hoses. And this thing's gonna start coming together next 2 or 3 weeks, and this thing will be heading to powder coat. When we tip this, don't tip it a lot. The more we tip this, the more it's going to try to straighten that piece out.
Well, what it does is here, the tipping part down here gets almost nothing here.
Right, which is good
though. It gets a little more here.
Because the more, which is fine up there because it's already straight.
It ain't hardly going to have
the more we
here.
tip it around here, it's going to try to straighten that piece back out. You know what I'm saying?
It ain't going to be much there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, perfect. I know people are going to say something about the light and it's dark in here, and actually you guys will be right today. It is dark in here because we had 3 lights go out in like the last week probably.
Yeah, we're working in
we're going to have to get a candle over here.
Braille.
That one's on the way out.
Yeah, I ordered 3. When did I order 3? Saturday?
Well,
yeah, but that one there, I guess, is on its way out now, so that'd be 4.
4, so we're going to still be 1 short, but we got 3 coming today. Oh, and these lights go out.
Wow.
Well, those are the older ones.
Those are old.
We put up some about 2 years ago, and they're all starting to go out one after another. And hopefully we'll get them all replaced.
Those things have been here since I've been here.
3 years maybe?
At least.
Yeah, probably.
I just know they're one by one going away.
Yeah, the new ones are brighter anyway, so
yeah,
hopefully it'll be brighter in a day or so.
New ones are great.
So Danny can see what he's doing.
Got light here.
He won't be able to find his 1/8" notcher if we don't get these lights fixed.
And here we go. Putting a little bit of a brake on this thing, like what they call like a tipping brake. The A-pillar that this goes on is 1 5/8". The tubing, that curve, is 1 1/4", and it's not flush notched, so it steps down. Plus, this rolls it down kind of in the same plane. And when it comes to when you're going up next to the pieces that are on the bottom welded, if they're welded up to the center of the tube, if this butts up flat, anywhere you go in here to drill a hole to put a screw, there's going to be a gap between the back side of this and the tube because the tube is curving down. So what we do is we put a little bit of a tipping brake in this, and that flattens it out down a little bit so that you're actually screwing into where the metal is touching each other. One of those things that's kind of, it's just a little pain in the neck to work with sometimes, especially with titanium, because it doesn't like to bend and stay bent a little bit. When you're doing it, you gotta This works good, but I'm saying it's springier than steel, and it's less forgiving. Here's what I was talking about. If you look here, this is 1 5/8, this is 1 1/4. This is center notched into this, so you can see where it rolls down. This breaks this up so it contacts this tube where we can put a screw, and it'll go in to this, and this piece is sitting more or less flat on the tube. If this wasn't broke, it'd just be this edge touching, and if it's a steel firewall, you can just stitch weld it on, and you don't need this brake. But this brake also adds a little stiffness to it. But here, you really don't need any step at all. But when you get down here, it needs to be stepped a little bit to get in. So we're going to use what they call a tipping roller. You put it in the roller, like a bead roller would be, and it's got a sharp-edged roller on top with an angle on it. The bottom's just flat. You draw yourself like a 1/4 inch line, and then when you start going in there with the roller, you just follow that line, but you pick up on the metal, and it makes this kind of a bend, but it makes it on a curve. This one here is going to have the tip all the way up, but when we get here, we're going to tip it less and less and less. But you'll still see a line, so it looks like it's all consistent. But yeah, that's what that brake is for. That brake right there we've got on it now is pretty close to what we're going to wind up with. I could probably put a little more brake on it, but yeah, maybe not. I can always add a little more later if I have to. I'll pull up a little bit on it. We'll see what that looks like. Ay, ay, ay. No, hot. Once you drill it, you've drilled it. So you don't want to do this till you're sure you've got something to work with. That's good. Yeah, I kind of need to do the bottom before the top, but the top might lay up a little bit. Oh, there's one I forgot to drill.
There's a couple of them you forgot to drill.
Be alright.
Like half the bottom side.
How did that happen?
I don't know, but I'm sitting here looking at it.
How did that happen?
There's that one. One. Well, okay, so you drilled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them that you haven't drilled yet.
Oh, well.
right, so we're over here with Project Seagull, and as you can see, we got some boxes in from RC Components, and I'm hoping that's the rear wheels. I'm guessing that's what that is, and if it is the rear wheels, we're gonna open them up, show them to you, and then Taylor's gonna mount some mock-up tires on them so that we can try to get the rear fit and get a rear end order for this thing so we can keep making forward progress. What did we order? You remember?
No. I wasn't part of that. I have no idea.
I know we got,
For all I know, they could be pink.
are they pink?
I don't.
If they're pink, they're going on your car.
Whatever.
I thought pink would look good. Pink wheels with a black car would look good though.
Probably cost more than my car.
RC Component definitely builds some nice stuff. That's what we use on pretty much everything. Unless the customer wants something different, this is what we pretty much use on everything we can. Oh yeah, that looks good. So we went with a 13-inch wide, 15-inch tall, double bead-lock rear wheel. And as you can see, man, that thing's pretty right there. With I think it's a 3-inch backspace. So we got the real deep dish wheel right there. Man, that looks good, right? And for the fronts, we got a 17-inch chrome wheel. So the only good thing about the chrome is you don't have to clean it. It's not as much cleaning work. The back, they don't chrome because of the way the bead lock is. I don't think they get the chrome in these corners right. So polished and chrome will look the same as long as Taylor keeps them wiped down right.
Huh? Where did I draw the short end of this thing?
Well, you're gonna be riding with me, you said.
Okay.
So if you ride with me,
Whatever.
we got to keep the wheels clean. We can't be rolling around with the back looking like we got.
All I know is that because of the wheels, you can't paint the car white.
No.
No.
What color?
That's just not white. You need.
I
Black.
would hate.
You need black on the wheels if you're gonna paint it white.
I'm big on trying to do something nobody's done, right? But I think for the color, I really like the color of marker with this car. With chrome wheels. Better put a picture of that in. It's like it looks like an aggressive Barney purple. But it looks really good. With a black vinyl top, that look killer. So we may go with that color. Put in the comments what color you guys think we should paint Seagull. We can't leave it this chalky black primer color. Well, we might have to.
We could.
Now that we spent all the
could.
now that we spent all the budget on the Lamborghini,
Because nobody would expect it, so we could.
Yeah, we might have to leave it. We might have to leave it that color for now because we spent all the budget on that. So either that or we might have to. Taylor might have to rattle can this thing. But all right, we're gonna get these mounted and then we're gonna see what they look like under there. Hopefully they'll at least fit. I know it'll be really tight with the factory tub. We're gonna put Detroit Speed mini tubs in it and then we should be good for sure. But we're gonna try, man, I think these things even got titanium hardware. Wow, these are slick. These are slick. If anybody out there needs some RC component wheels, give us a call. We can get you hooked up on these. These guys do an awesome job. A lot of stuff sometimes they got in stock. If not, it's usually a pretty quick turnaround. So give us a shout if you need any RC component wheels, and we're gonna let Taylor get these mounted. Be an open wheel modified Camaro with a Lamborghini engine. No? I love the deep 3-inch backspace. Looks killer for sure. If you guys haven't already, we have some videos. I think we did 2 or 3 videos on this car. It'll be really cool. We're gonna do a drag and drive. Like we talked about earlier, Taylor's gonna ride with me. He's gonna make sure the passenger side wheel is clean all the time. And drag and drive, but it's gonna have a Lamborghini engine with a turbo 400. We've already got the engine mounted. We just 3D printed the adapter to go from the Lamborghini engine to a turbo 400. Hopefully that stuff works. A lot of stuff coming up on this to figure out and make it work. But I think we're gonna be able to do it. So first ever Lamborghini engine that I know of with a turbo 400 or any automatic in the front of any vehicle. So pretty cool deal. Should make 15 to 1800 horsepower, stock engine, twin turbo. Yeah. In a 69 Camaro. So no one would ever expect a 69 Camaro to sound like a Lamborghini. Except for the big purple Lamborghini symbol that Taylor wants to paint on the side. He's about to get, his gray hair is about to rub off on me. Just wrap it. Wrap the Lamborghini symbol?
Yeah, just the sticker.
Okay. Purple.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm not sold on that. I'm usually like a plain, like a factory looking.
That's fine.
I think. What about a little Lamborghini emblem on a fender?
On the fender?
Like a real emblem. Maybe.
That could be okay.
That'd be alright.
That'd be okay.
Yeah. I want it to look factory, and then you fire it up and you realize it is not factory, or it doesn't have a small block or an LS. I want you to. That's what I want it to be noticeable when you fire it up, because this thing's gonna look cool. It's got, like we said, spindle mount, 17-inch front wheels, so it's gonna look like a race car, real low to the ground. The 69s with the square wheel opening really tuck the tire good, so that you only see a little bit of it. It's gonna look good. I'm excited. Really excited.
You know what I think? What? It'll work till it don't.
It'll work till it don't. That's a fact right there. Hopefully we don't get to the don't.
I'm setting the depth for my step. In other words, there's this bend on the back side, and what that does is it's gonna set my depth for how deep this is, depending on how thick the panel is. Now this deck lid is like paper thin, so I'm gonna have very little step at all, which is another reason why we do these this way, so I get a nice crisp inside corner and a nice crisp outside corner, as opposed to trying to weld just a flat piece in and just burning that edge in, and then trying to grind it in or do whatever I'd have to do to try and get that nice crisp edge back. So what I got is a piece of 040 titanium, and I just put it on here and grind down to it till I'm even, and that'll set my depth. And then I'll take this and I'll weld it on. This is for this front edge along the edge here, and then that'll go along the front edge. It's just another reason why these are a little fidgety to do. They're kind of time consuming, but once you get them all set up, and they go along pretty quick. I already kind of got a little bit of a curve going to it. I use a shrinker stretcher to do that. That allows me to either bend it one way or the other on the flat. Look in the middle, you see them split? Okay, what that does when I put the metal in there is it spreads it, which is going to give me this effect. As this comes down, this will squish together. This is called a shrinker, and what this will do is it'll cause the material to bend the other way. So the combination of the shrinker and the stretcher, stretching this side of the material, is giving me that curve, which at some point, with the proper combination of shrinking, and in this case stretching, I can follow this curve that goes along the front. Once that's done, I can lay out my Cleco, or in this case, my Zeus holes, and do my profile with the scallops, and then tack it in.
Definitely a clean look, and obviously these are race cars. You can tell the race cars, but we try to aim for a factory appearance the best we can. So
Yeah.
try to make it look factory, nothing crazy. Try not to cut everything up a bunch and make it look like a pro mod. It's supposed to look like a factory car with wheels on it, essentially.
Well, that is the spirit of this class,
Yeah,
is to have a back half
factory appearance.
factory appearing body. Because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is we're trying to mimic the advantages to the carbon body with a steel body. In other words, all the lips around the windows, all the lips around the deck lid, you don't have that in the steel, you have to make it. Where if this was a carbon body, all we'd have to do is cut the windows out and fit them. The lips are already there, they're in the mold. So.
And there's other ways to do this. This is what we do because we really want our stuff to stand out. You could just buy Zeus tabs and weld a Zeus tab where all these are.
Absolutely.
And it would take you probably an hour. You know, you can set your depth with something, whatever that is, and just weld you some Zeus tabs on it and call it a day. Totally doable, just not what we like to do. All right, as you can see, Troy finalized fabrication on all the flush mount deck lid lips yesterday. They got them all tacked in, and he actually started cutting the rear deck lid. So as you can see, the deck lid's 2 pieces now, because we used the very lower section of a steel deck lid, and we've probably explained that already, but the reason we do that is because we put a step in it, and a carbon deck lid fits flush on here with the wing. So this is pretty much done, other than Andrew having to weld it up, and Troy just cut out a blank to start on a wing. So we should have a wing in the next day or so going, get it looking like something. The next thing he'll start on is basically doing the same thing, but instead of for a deck lid, it'll be for the window. So we flush mount all the windows similar to this. He'll do the rear window, the quarter windows. The door window already has a lip on it for the door. It'll get a titanium window frame, and then we'll do the front windshield. This is a very time-consuming part of the build. He probably still has a week left in fabricating and welding just the window lips. So we'll get that done. One other thing we started doing on the last few cars, on the windows, we usually screw them in with 632 screws, which will show you more in depth on that. But the last few cars, we started Zeusing the rear window in. So now the rear window actually Zeus is in. That way you can get the window out easily without having to have someone climb on the inside, someone on the outside. You can unzeus it, clean your tubs, whatever you gotta do, put the window back in. So we'll show you more of that in the next video. We also got the firewall, quite a bit of progress done on the titanium firewall. Danny's got 3 more pieces left. One of the pieces I believe he already has a template for, so that'll be closed out in the next video also. And really, other than the window lips after the firewall, the fabrication's pretty much done-ish. A lot of welding left, a few little small things, and we're hoping to go to powder coat the beginning of September. After powder coat, we got to put the body back on, get the car painted, and reassemble it. So still a lot of stuff to do in a really short period of time. We also got electronics in today, so we'll be mounting the electronics. The wiring guy will actually come here, which is not what we normally do, but because of the timeline, he's going to come here, start wiring the car while it's here, and we're still working on it. He'll finish the harness at his shop, and then when we put it all back together at the very end, he'll just install the harness. So a lot going on in the next 3 or 4 weeks. Make sure you stay tuned. If you haven't already and you're watching these videos and you like them, make sure you subscribe so you get a notification when our new videos come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.